The disappearance of the USS Cyclops in 1918 stands as a haunting tale in maritime history, gripping the concerns of both experts and enthusiasts alike. This formidable United States Navy cargo ship vanished without a trace, leaving behind a void filled with unanswered questions and endless speculation that quite literally continues to this day. The incident took place within the infamous Bermuda Triangle, an area notorious for unexplained disappearances and paranormal phenomena. Which, fun fact, I actually have a great uncle and great aunt who went missing there, I believe in like the 90s, and just never returned. Tough break. The story of the USS Cyclops is a tale of intrigue, mystery, and tragedy that has captivated generations. So in this episode, let's embark on a journey to unravel the events surrounding the disappearance of the USS Cyclops. In doing so, let's jump into the ship's background, its purpose, and the historical context of World War I when the vessel served a crucial role. Utilizing the research I was able to pull together, we navigate through the voyage, investigations, and circumstances leading to that fateful disappearance. The subsequent exhaustive search options also involving the US Navy and other organizations is going to shed light on the scale and intensity of the efforts to locate this ill-fated ship. The Bermuda Triangle is often associated with mysterious vanishings, which brings into focus our attempt to explain what is going on, which, believe it or not, we actually do have a better understanding of why ships go missing out here so regularly, or at least a hypothesis. So to draw our comparisons, let's take a look at other incidents within this mysterious region as we draw connections to other ill-fated voyages, whether those be in the sky or in the sea. The USS Cyclops was an imposing vessel which played a significant role in the United States Navy during the early 20th century. The ship was named after the Cyclops, the one-eyed giant of Greek mythology, if you can believe it. It was a coal-carrying collar ship built by the United States Navy's Naval Auxiliary Service. Constructed by William Cramp & Sons Shipbuilding Company in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the USS Cyclops was commissioned on May 1st, 1910, and it was a massive vessel measuring approximately 542 feet in length and boasting a displacement of around 19,360 tons. Basically, she was a pretty big gal for her time. Powered by 2 steam turbine engines, the ship had a top speed of 15 knots and was capable of carrying a significant amount of cargo. The primary purpose of the USS Cyclops was to transport coal, an absolutely critical resource during a time when coal-powered ships were prevalent. Its ability to deliver coal and fuel naval vessels played a crucial role in supporting the U.S. Navy's operations, especially during times of conflict. During World War I, the USS Cyclops was assigned to various tasks related to the war effort. It primarily served as a collar, as mentioned, delivering coal to American naval vessels and supporting Allied forces in general. The ship's large capacity allowed it to transport substantial amounts, ensuring a steady supply for any naval operation. With its vital role in the war, the USS Cyclops became an integral part of the logistical infrastructure supporting the U.S. Navy. Its reliability and ability to deliver supplies earned it a reputation as a dependable workhorse of its fleet. However, despite its significance and contributions to the war effort, the USS Cyclops had a relatively short-lived service. Its ill-fated final voyage would be forever etched into the name of the annals of maritime mysteries and into the wallets of William Cramp & Sons, considering they just got this thing out the door. On March 4th, 1918, the USS Cyclops departed from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, with a cargo filled with manganese ore. Its intended destination was Baltimore, Maryland, where it was scheduled to deliver the valuable cargo. The ship's crew consisted of 309 members, including officers and enlisted personnel. Tragically, the USS Cyclops never reached its destination. After entering the infamous Bermuda Triangle, it disappeared without a trace, leaving behind a shroud of mystery that has endured for over a century. The ship's vanishing remains one of the most puzzling incidents in maritime history, with numerous theories and speculations seeking to unravel its fate. The disappearance of the USS Cyclops would spark a decades-long search and contribute to the reputation of the Bermuda Triangle, an area infamous for unexplained maritime disappearances. Despite extensive efforts to locate the ship and its crew, no wreckage, debris, or conclusive evidence was ever found, leaving the fate of the USS Cyclops to remain a complete, unexplained event, but not without hypotheses surrounding its fate, because we're human and that's what we like to do. The journey proceeded without any known issues until the USS Cyclops made a scheduled stop at Salvador, Brazil, to take on additional supplies. After leaving Salvador, the ship continued on its northward course, sailing along the eastern coast of South America and heading towards its destination in the United States. However, as the USS Cyclops made its way through the treacherous waters of the western Atlantic Ocean, it would encounter its final known communication. On March 13, 1918, the vessel sent a routine message to the United States Naval Headquarters reporting its position near the island of Barbados. This communication marked the last contact ever received from the USS Cyclops. After this message, the ship seemingly vanished into thin air, leaving no further trace or indication of its whereabouts. It failed to arrive at its scheduled destination in Baltimore, and concern began to mount for the vessel's safety. The disappearance of the USS Cyclops triggered an extensive search effort conducted by the U.S. Navy and other organizations. Despite the large-scale operation, again, nothing was ever found of this ship, and the crew still is missing to this day. The vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean just seemingly swallowed the USS Cyclops, leaving behind a void of uncertainty and speculation. The search efforts conducted over a wide area extending from the ship's last known position near Barbados to other possible routes that the vessel might have taken. Naval vessels and aircraft scoured the ocean hoping to locate any remnants of the ship or to find survivors. However, the search proved absolutely fruitless, and the fate of the Cyclops would remain a complete unknown, which obviously, that would probably spark some concern. The circumstances surrounding the disappearance has puzzled investigators and experts alike back then, and still to this day. The weather conditions at that time were reported to be relatively calm, with no severe storms or extraordinary events recorded, just an average, boring, safe day of sailing. The ship, known for its robust construction and reliable machinery, offered no apparent explanation for its sudden vanishing either, which would hint that something extraordinary was likely the culprit, because if common issues were believed to have not been the cause, what else does that leave? The Bermuda Triangle is a place that personally freaks me out, and it's sort of like quicksand. It's an area infamous for unexplained events. Because of the number of craft that seemed to go missing here, this played a role in shaping the narrative around the USS Cyclops' fate. Located in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean, the Bermuda Triangle has long been associated with mysterious phenomenon and inexplicable events at sea. The disappearance of the USS Cyclops within this sus region further heightened the speculation and fueled theories about supernatural and paranormal influences alike. To this day, the exact circumstances and causes of the Cyclops' disappearances remain just completely unknown. Theories are abound, ranging from the possibility of storms to severe weather conditions to structural failure and instability due to a heavy cargo load on board, with those first two things, of possibility of storms and severe weather conditions, being a little odd considering they reported that there were no severe storms or no weather conditions. So some theories even suggest human factors such as mutiny, sabotage, or espionage may be the culprit, with that last one being interesting because, who knows? Maybe there was a rather angry former Central Powers person on board who wanted a little bit of revenge. The disappearance of the Cyclops would attract a lot of attention from several groups. Decades of investigations, searches, and inquiries have failed to provide any conclusive answers, leaving the fate relatively unknown and the crew lost forever in the depths of the Atlantic Ocean, or so it's believed. Following the mysterious disappearance of the Cyclops in 1918, the United States Navy launched a massive search operation in a determined effort to locate the missing vessel and its crew. Collaborative efforts were made by the U.S. Navy along with organizations and other countries to comb the vast stretches of the Atlantic Ocean in hopes of finding any traces of the ill-fated ship. The search operations began immediately after the Cyclops failed to arrive at its scheduled destination in Baltimore, Maryland. Naval vessels, including destroyers, cruisers, and other ships, were deployed to scour the waters along the possible routes the ship might have taken. Aircraft, including seaplanes and airships, were also employed to conduct aerial searches covering vast areas and surveying the ocean surface from above. The search efforts focused primarily on the regions surrounding the last known communication from the Cyclops' position near the aforementioned Barbados. The naval vessels meticulously combed through the waters employing sonar technology, depth soundings, and other advanced equipment available at the time to detect any underwater anomalies or wreckage. Aircraft conducted aerial surveys, scanning the surface for any signs of debris or life rafts. Despite the concerted efforts and extensive resources devoted to this search, no conclusive evidence of the USS Cyclops was ever found. The vastness of the Atlantic Ocean and the challenging nature of the search area presented significant obstacles. The disappearances of the Cyclops seemed to defy conventional explanations, leaving investigators really frustrated during their searches. The search operations spanned several weeks, with the U.S. Navy and other organizations tirelessly looking through the ocean in a desperate quest for answers. However, the ship remained alarmingly elusive, evading detection and leaving no visible traces to guide searchers, which is a bit odd as typically there is something left over from a ship, whether it be floating wood, life rafts, bodies, just anything. But in this instance, it was as if everybody, including the crew, just evaporated. As the weeks turned to months, it became increasingly apparent that the fate of the USS Cyclops might forever remain a mystery. Despite the lack of concrete results, the search for the USS Cyclops did play a pivotal role in shaping maritime safety practices and protocols as a result. The incident highlighted the importance of a thorough voyage planning, regular communication protocols, and the necessity of a reliable tracking system to ensure the safety of naval vessels and their crews. The disappearance of the Cyclops also served as a catalyst for increased research and exploration in the Bermuda Triangle. This relatively legendary for all the wrong reasons region had already gained a reputation for unexplained disappearances and peculiar phenomena. The search for the USS Cyclops further ignited public curiosity as well, prompting further investigations and studies to better understand the mysteries surrounding the Bermuda Triangle. Because nobody wants to go missing in the ocean. It's like a giant graveyard out there. Over the years, subsequent expeditions and technological advancements have continued the quest to uncover the fate of the Cyclops. Underwater exploration, sonar imaging, and advanced mapping techniques have been employed to search for possible wreckage that was missed back then, or possibly remnants of the ship on the ocean floor. However, these efforts have yet to yield definitive answers or even locate this mining vessel. The extensive search operations carried out after the USS Cyclops disappearances demonstrated the commitment and determination of the US Navy and other organizations to unravel this issue. While the search may not have provided the desired outcome, it served as a testament to the dedication of those involved and their unwavering pursuit of truth and closure. The Bermuda Triangle, also known as the Devil's Triangle, has long been associated with a multitude of unexplained phenomena and mysterious disappearances of ships and craft. Situated in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean, this region has captured the public's imagination and sparked endless debates about what actually happens out there. Again, it's like the adult version of when you were a youngling and you were told about quicksand. You assumed it was going to be a lot more of a problem than it actually is, but still, clearly, just like quicksand, it was a problem for some people. You could go out in the Bermuda Triangle and be fine, but the Bermuda Triangle has been a problem for some people. Like my great aunt and uncle. Of course, they're probably in the Caribbean somewhere. They just wanted to get out of the United States. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. They could be fish food. Who knows? But the boundaries of the Bermuda Triangle are loosely defined, typically encompassing an area that stretches from the southeastern coast of the United States, including Florida, to the island of Bermuda and the Greater and Lesser Antilles of the Caribbean. Within the vast expanse, numerous incidents of unexplained disappearances and strange occurrences have been reported. One of the most notorious aspects of the Bermuda Triangle is the highly unusual amount of missing ships and aircraft, as mentioned previous. Over the years, a significant number of vessels and planes have vanished without a trace while passing through this area of the planet. The disappearances often occur under seemingly normal or benign circumstances, leaving investigators and experts to be baffled. The allure and mystery surrounding the Bermuda Triangle stem from several factors. First, again, the sheer number of reported incidents within the region have created a sense of concern, but also kind of morbid fascination. From century-old maritime legends to modern-day disappearances, the Bermuda Triangle has become synonymous with vanishing vessels and unanswered questions. Second, the unexplained nature of the disappearances adds to the strangeness of this area. Ships and aircraft have seemingly vanished without distress calls or any indication of trouble, leaving no wreckage or debris behind. This lack of tangible evidence challenges traditional explanation and invites speculation about possible paranormal and supernatural forces at play. Because remember, I'm not saying it's aliens, but, you know. So, third, the Bermuda Triangle's reputation has been further enhanced by popular culture and media, like books, movies, and documentaries, have all capitalized on the mysteries of fueling public interest and perpetuating legends associated with the region. I mean, look at what you're watching right now. These portrayals often blend facts, folklore, and sensationalism, making it a challenge to separate truth from fiction. Numerous theories and hypotheses have been put forth to explain the anomalies within the Bermuda Triangle. Some propose like natural phenomenon as potential causes, such as powerful ocean currents, underwater geology, or even methane gas eruptions, which seems the most plausible to someone who lives on land like me. I mean, it could destabilize vessels and aircraft, and we'll kind of talk about that here in a minute. But others suggest the unique electromagnetic anomalies or magnetic fields in the region interfere with navigation systems, causing confusion and disorientation. All that said, though, skeptics argue the number of incidents reported in the Bermuda Triangle is really not statistically higher than other heavily trafficked areas of the world's oceans and skies. They contend that human error, unpredictable weather conditions, and mechanical failures are more likely explanations to the disappearances. But despite ongoing scientific investigations, the Bermuda Triangle remains an unsolved mystery and will likely continue to be so in the same category for quite some time. The true nature of the region's mysteries continue to elude explanation. It serves as a reminder of the vastness and complexity of the world's oceans and the enduring allure of the unknown. While the Bermuda Triangle may continue to perplex humanity as a whole, it is essential that you approach the subject with a bit of skepticism and an appreciation for the complexities of the natural world. The allure of the unknown will undoubtedly continue to fuel curiosity and inspire further exploration. However, if you don't approach it with skepticism, you tend to start kind of getting out there with what you think it may actually be. But it's natural for the human brain to, again, make up information in place of there being none, because that is just simply how we operate. It has helped us in the past and will likely still help us in the future, but there are some pitfalls of operating in this way, and we usually apply negativity to the area where we don't understand something. So, filling in missing information with negative outcomes kept us alive? Not necessarily in this sense, but the mysterious disappearances of the USS Cyclops in 1918 really have spawned numerous theories and speculations over the years. That said, many theories have cropped up in an attempt to explain what's happening, not all of them good. One of the most commonly cited theories suggests that the USS Cyclops just fell victim to a powerful storm and severe weather conditions, despite the fact that they said everything was fine. The Atlantic Ocean is known for unpredictable and treacherous weather patterns, which can crop up even if you're like, hey, everything's fine, and then a couple hours, it's not fine. So it is possible that the ship encountered a violent storm that overwhelmed its capabilities, causing it to sink rapidly. But the issue remains with this one. If a vessel is brought down by a storm, it would have some sort of wreckage or debris left behind that would have likely floated, yet nothing was ever seen or recovered. The next theory is that the USS Cyclops was carrying heavy cargo of manganese ore during its final voyage. Some theories propose that the ship's structural integrity may have been compromised, leading to catastrophic failure. Excessive stress caused by the weight of the cargo, combined with rough seas, could have resulted in the ship breaking apart and sinking without leaving any wreckage behind. But the thing also to know about manganese ore is that in some cases, fine manganese powder can be explosive. If the material were to rub together in rough seas, this may have caused the powder form to arise, which can lead to the creation of hydrogen gas, and in some cases, if certain conditions are met, this could cause an explosion that would have absolutely produced wreckage and floating wood. So it's hard to assume that this was the case as well. Speculation has arisen regarding the involvement of possibly human factors in the USS Cyclops' disappearance. These theories suggest that maybe there was a mutiny or like a sabotage with crew members intentionally causing the ship's demise. One theory suggests espionage, proposing that the ship and valuable cargo were targeted by enemy agents during World War I. Of course, it's important to take this with a grain of salt as well, because typically the point of a mutiny is to take over the ship. Where would they go? How were they not seen in the ensuing searches, considering how extensive the field of search was? If they destroyed the ship, why would they do this, as it could easily lead to their own ends, because the ocean is a dangerous place? And if it was a spy, where did they go and how did they escape? And if the ship was destroyed, where was the wreckage, and why would it not have shown up on sonar mapping? Another theory suggests that the USS Cyclops may have actually collided with another ship, an iceberg, or a submerged object. The collision could have occurred in such a way that the ship sank rapidly, leaving no time for a distress signal to be sent or survivors to escape. This one to me is most unlikely. Given the location that it was, icebergs are not common in the Bermuda Triangle. It is way too warm out there. Maybe like way further north, but very unlikely to be there in March. Another ship could be possible, but again, the floor was mapped and nothing was seen, and if they struck something under the water, like say like an underwater mountain or something, I feel like during sonar mapping, others would probably see that too. So a collision would also result in wreckage and debris that would be likely buoyant, and you could see it. The USS Cyclops' disappearance, another one that they say, is because it occurred in the infamous Bermuda Triangle. Maybe it just vanished because of supernatural or paranormal forces within the region, including extraterrestrial encounters, magnetic anomalies, or portals to other dimensions. The Atlantic also contains deep trenches and underwater canyons, some of which are located in the vicinity of the USS Cyclops' intended route, so it's possible the ship encountered a trench after sinking by some means, or a sudden drop-off leading to a swift sinking that left no trace on the surface. Or possibly this one appears to be the most normal. Like any vessel, the USS Cyclops was susceptible to mechanical failures. A catastrophic failure in its engines or propulsion systems, or its hull, or possibly any critical component could have rendered the ship helpless, leaving it at the mercy of the ocean's forces, resulting in its disappearance. Now, it is important to note that while these theories offer possible explanations, none of them have been actually proven, which if they were, we wouldn't be like sitting here discussing any of this right now. The disappearances of the USS Cyclops does remain a mystery, leaving room for speculation and further investigation. As technology advances and new discoveries are made, there is always the potential for new insights and a deeper understanding of what transpired on that ill-fated voyage. The disappearance of the USS Cyclops in the Bermuda Triangle has also given rise to various alternative explanations and paranormal speculations. While these theories may lack scientific evidence, they contribute to the mystique surrounding this entire event. Here are some alternative paranormal speculations associated with the USS Cyclops' disappearance. So get ready for some strange explanations, because I mean, I'm going to tell you, that's the good stuff. The first one is some theorists propose that the USS Cyclops encountered an unidentified flying object, or a UFO, or extraterrestrial beings. According to this theory, these unknown entities may have abducted the ship and its crew, leaving no trace behind. Reports of UFO sightings and strange lights within the Bermuda Triangle have contributed to this notion of extraterrestrial involvement. But then you have to ask yourself, why would they be interested in abducting an entire ship? What is the purpose of that, and why only in this area? The next one is even more strange. It's a theory that suggests the presence of a time warp or vortices within the Bermuda Triangle. It posits that the USS Cyclops may have unknowingly entered a rift in the space-time continuum, leading to its disappearance. According to this belief, the ship could have been transported to another era or dimension, offering an explanation for the lack of wreckage or survivors. And this one was definitely thought up by a guy outside of the 7-Eleven. The next one typically kind of runs along the line of magnetic anomalies and navigation disruptions, because the Bermuda Triangle is purported to have these, which can disrupt compasses, navigation systems, and communication equipment. So it's theorized that the Cyclops may have encountered a powerful magnetic field, causing naval errors and rendering the crew unable to find their way back, ultimately leading to their disappearance. But magnetism is not going to sink a boat, at least not on this planet. If you run into a quasar, yeah, it could probably sink a boat, but it would still be floating around out there and people would still be able to see it. And it would, as fast as the launch of the search was done, they would have seen this thing just floating around. So I don't think it's probably that. The next one is just beautiful. This is speculations that potentially there are underwater alien bases or submerged civilizations within the Bermuda Triangle, and these suggest that mysterious entities may have interacted with the Cyclops, either intentionally causing its disappearance or abducting its crew for unknown purposes. So they got abducted by mermaids. Essentially, that's what that's saying. This one is actually very interesting, not the mermaids one, but the one we're about to talk about. This is an alternate theory that proposes the existence of an electromagnetic fog, a phenomenon that generates a dense mist that interferes with navigational instruments and sensory perception. It is essentially postulated that the USS Cyclops may have become engulfed in this fog, disorienting the crew and resulting in their inability to navigate safely. And there are stories about planes going up and them just running into a random fog in the sky, and then their compasses screwing up. Some have actually survived this. Now, the problem with this theory is, with a plane, if you run into this and you don't know where you are and it's in this fog, absolutely, that's a problem, because you have to come down and you're going to run out of gas. If you run out of gas on a ship, or in this case coal, because that's what it ran off of, it's not like it sinks once you run out of coal. Now, you are at the mercy of the ocean, so if a storm crops up, you can't exactly steer. But if that didn't happen, because they were talking about, oh, everything's fine, and then this search was launched really, really quickly afterwards, it's not like the ship sinks without fuel. That's all I'm saying. So the other one is just, we don't know what it is, but this theory invokes the idea that a curse or supernatural forces associated with the USS Cyclops are to blame. According to this speculation, the ship may have fallen victim to a malevolent force or invoked the wrath of supernatural entities, leading to its disappearance as an act of punishment or vengeance. And this one is, again, just completely superstition, and superstition is something that is really abound within the sailing community. So who knows? I mean, I don't go out there into the deep sea that much, or ever, really. Others have. I saw a video the other day of apparently mermaids singing to this guy, and they're trying to get him off the boat. Who knows? But it's important to note that these alternative explanations and paranormal speculations do lack scientific substantiation and are primarily based on folklore, sensationalism, and pop culture. While they contribute to the intrigue surrounding the Cyclops' disappearances, they should be approached with a lot of skepticism and critical thinking. Objective scientific investigation does remain crucial in uncovering the truth behind this enduring maritime mystery. The disappearance of the USS Cyclops in 1980 left a lasting legacy and had a significant impact on actually the maritime safety practices, popular culture, and ongoing research as a result. The The incident continues to captivate the public imagination and serves as a reminder of the enduring mysteries that lie within the depths of the ocean. The legacy and impact, it goes well beyond its immediate context and has actually stimulated curiosity, prompted even more research, and fostered ongoing discussions surrounding kind of what happened. As an exploration continues and technology advances, there is always hope that somewhere, somehow, we will find something or what happened to them. And this will finally potentially offer closure on what went down. And while recent development and investigations have not yet resulted in definitive answers, they demonstrate the commitment of researchers and organizations to unravel the mysteries surrounding Cyclops. The application of advanced technologies, interdisciplinary collaboration, and integration of historical and modern data kind of offer the hope that new discoveries may one day be provided and close this century-old mystery. The quest of truth continues, fueled by the belief and persistence of innovation will ultimately shed light on the fate of the Cyclops and its crew. Now, there is something to know now that we have gone through and have a thorough grasp on what was happening to the ship or what happened to the ship and the ideas behind it, and I see two major options that could have contributed to these issues. This is going to arise when the craft goes through this area. The first explanation is the methane gas eruption. As mentioned, this is a known issue in the Bermuda Triangle that can have profound impacts on ships and planes alike. When the methane under the water is released in great quantities, and we know there are actually methane patches in the Bermuda Triangle, this can cause the water's ability to hold up a ship to change dramatically by methane bubbles threatening the buoyancy of the actual ship. Upon entering an area where there's a current discharge of methane gas, the ship will begin to sink quickly as methane bubbles up under the ship. This is like having the floor pulled out from underneath you. The ship would sink almost immediately, but there is the added effect of the air being displaced, which means anyone on the ship would also suffocate not just from water, but from the methane replacing the air. So if you're attempting to swim away, you're not breathing. And I mean, swimming uses a lot of oxygen, so it's not really good. This could help to explain the lack of messages and no distress signal as the air was replaced and everyone quickly succumbs in a matter of moments as the ship sinks into the trench, stopping wreckage from being observed or from the ship being mapped on sonar. This would also explain why aircraft would go missing. As the methane continues to rise, it is known that it would affect pilots' instruments and they would begin breathing in the methane gas as well. Upon doing so, they would become disoriented and then crash into the ocean. There are actually a group of pilots that befell a similar fate in P-51s, if I remember correctly, during the 50s, during like a routine operation. And if you want me to cover that, let me know in the comments. But methane was released, they were talking about it, they got confused as to where they were, and then all of them went missing. Methane really could help to explain these issues. The other option, which would affect really only ships as opposed to planes, are rogue waves. Back in the day and during this time frame, rogue waves were not known and were only really talked about amongst the occasional ship captain who survived one or at least saw one. But they were never really widely accepted as real until very recently. Rogue waves are a constructed buildup of waves that go against the waves or run perpendicular to them and can reach a pretty large size. The issue is most captains are trying to sail into the waves, which when a rogue wave hits, it tends to hit the side of a ship, which could capsize it, leading to that ship sinking without a ton of material being left behind. And in rough seas, this could also help to explain what may have happened to the USS Cyclops. The USS Cyclops and its vanished crew remain etched in history as a poignant reminder of the risks faced by those who venture into the unknown. The legacy of their disappearance continues to shape our understanding of maritime safety, spark public interest, and inspire ongoing research and exploration. The quest for answers persists, ensuring that the story of the USS Cyclops and its enigmatic fate will endure for generations to come. But anyhow, I want to thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, leaving a like would be great, and subscribing is a great way to let me know that you actually do enjoy this content, and hitting the bell will get you notified somewhat. But alright, well, that's going to do it for me. I hope everyone enjoyed, and I will see y'all in the next one.